So this is a great example of my morning trade for the first 30 minutes of the market open. As you can see here, the pre-market action was pulling back a little bit. Usually an hour before the market open, for me it's 6:30. You usually get some kind of news release and you get some kind of reaction, which kind of tips its hand towards what the open could be. Today, I think it was a little bit more added on to the jobless claims and things like that, and it pulled back about $1 roughly. But as you see, there's no volume at all involved, so it wasn't really a big move per se because there wasn't any volume backing it up. And then going into the open, it was trending up pretty strong. And at the very first candle of the day generally has one of the biggest volumes of the day. This one here is about 293,000 traded here. And for me, what triggered my trade was that it bottom wicked. So it pulled down hard, it sold off, but then by the end of the 5 minute candle, it was a solid green. And so by the second candle here, I saw that even though volume had dropped off, but it was still maintaining position, is when I added my position going up. I did the 523 call. This was right when it broke through the 522 mark. I did $1 outside the money, so I did 523. And for my trade of the day for the first opening of the morning, I always, regardless of the situation, I get out before the 30-minute mark. So for me, the market here opens at 7:30. I'm out by 8 a.m. because there's always some kind of news release at 8 a.m. and it has a tendency to flip the market one way or another. And so for me, right here at 7:45, it started a top wick. We didn't have any significant increase of volume from the opening candle. It top wicked down, and then the next candle opened up red, and so I sold out. So when I got in here, it was a quick trade. Here I entered with my call. It was I think it was $55 is what the entry price was, and I got out here at 87. So a quick, $30+ on a trade for whatever 15 minutes. Again, I only did one contract, but I was safe. As we see here at 8 o'clock, the market completely flipped over with whatever news the release was. It actually ended up being a pretty good solid trade if I would have reversed position and got into the puts because it started to pull back pretty hard. I actually played hands off just because I wasn't confident in the move. There wasn't much, volume after that first initial volume candle. The volume started dropping off dramatically, so I did hands off. I didn't want to take any risk. I didn't see any solid indication of continuation to risk putting in any kind of size for this. That and I had other things going on, so I wasn't able to manage it properly. But so yeah, my first trade of the day, early morning opening for SPY contracts, pre-market, that hour before the open, whatever news comes out kind of tips its hand on what direction things may happen at the open. If it's a solid, aggressive green going all the way up, there's always going to be a sell-off. So you can usually anticipate that sell-off in that first half hour and then spiking back up, or vice versa. If you have serious downtrend, you'll start having people buy in, and you usually get a good green spike in that first hour and pulling back. But you need volume kind of confirm a lot of that too. Since there's no volume here, I was pretty confident when this bought up after that first candle that it was going to be green for the first half hour at least. So hope that helps.